What's up, y'all? I'm Andrew, and today I'll be showing you how to catch fall bass in Lower Michigan. I'll be showing you what the bass are doing this time of year, where they're going, and how to catch them. Stay tuned till the end. I'll see you at the pond. Okay, what's up? We're at the pond now. We're going to start it off strong, throwing one of my favorite things to throw ever. That being the 6th Sense Divine Hybrid Jig. This is a 3.7-inch bongo craw trailer on it. Got bit off by a pike a couple days ago, but the bass still want it. So let's get to fishing. Let's go right now. Okay. Let's start tossing the jig around and see what happens. So first of all, we gotta talk about what the bass are doing during the fall. So right now they're chasing a whole bunch of bait, and they're moving up more shallow than they would be in the summer. That's because they're eating a bunch of big bait like bluegill, shad, all those bigger bait things, okay? Cisco. It just depends on where you are. I'm in Lower Michigan right now, so I'm catching them on bluegill baits. But I'm sure down south, y'all are catching them on glide baits and anything that represents a shad. So yeah, they're schooling up, chasing shad, chasing bluegill, chasing a bunch of bigger baits. That's so they can fatten up during the winter, so they don't starve to death, as anything does. Now, when I'm looking for points to catch bass, I've had all my luck this season so far in weeds. If I can find alive weeds, I can find bass. Because, as you can see around this pond, the top used to be all weeds not too long ago, and now it's not. So if you can find patches like this on this side, or over there on that side, you can find the fish. That's what I've gotten from this season of fishing. And the jig I'm using, I really like this because it just goes well with anything. I mean, it catches fish, one, any time of the year, and two, it catches them really good in the fall. So, like I said, this is the 6th Sense Hybrid jig. It has these big skirts, okay? Now, I don't really like to trim these skirts. I like to keep them on here for that big bulky profile to represent a bluegill even better, okay? This tail, honestly, this could represent a craw for sure, but I feel like that flap, because when it falls, it kind of jiggles like that. That kind of looks like a bluegill tail, okay? That looks like a bluegill tail. This entire thing is made to represent a bluegill, okay? The bigger profile, I love the bigger profile baits this time of year. I love them. I haven't gotten around to throwing a glide much because I've lost all mine. But if I had some, I'd definitely be throwing that. Temperature is around 55 degrees out right now. Water temperature is even cooler. It's definitely dropped a lot. So I'm going to be wanting to throw some finesse style for sure, especially for today. I mean, I'm not seeing a single thing pop on top water at all, which indicates it might not be a moving bait day. It might just be a slow, rolling the jig kind of day. And honestly, I don't fish this pond much. I don't know what structure's in it. I don't know what I'm trying to look for. I know that the corners could be really good. And there's a specific corner I want to get to, but this work is there right now. So, yeah. I want to look for corners, alive weeds, and maybe feel a bit of structure on the bottom. And it's a really good time to catch some fat bass and some fat anything. I mean, you go to St. Clair and you catch a 13-inch perch that's super fat right now. You catch a PB anything right now. I mean, this is one of the best times, if not the best times of the year in my opinion, to catch fish. As long as you can find them. If you can find them and find out what they're biting and what they're eating and how to catch them and where they're at, it's all about patterns in the fall. It's all about patterns. And there's so many different ways you can catch them too. I mean, there's guys that are still out there with their jig and a minnow on forward-facing sonar. You know? There's the bank beaters with flipping jigs and running glides. And right now, honestly, I saw this in a Tyler Surreal fishing video, TRF. Go subscribe to him, he's awesome. And he couldn't have been more right. They're going to be on any structure that stays throughout the year. They're going to be on anything like that. So maybe rocks, they're going to be on trees, they're going to be on stumps that have sunk, they're going to be on broken docks, they're going to be anywhere, okay? More commonly rocks though. So if you can find rocks, you can really find a bunch of fish. A bunch of fish. I mean, they just love the rocks so much. And not the super small gravel rocks like I'm standing on. The big old slates, the big old chunks of rocks. That's what they love. So the bass love to hang out on. They use those as ambush points because the bait fish like to go there too. Use them as ambush points, and they just like to hang out there. And in the winter, you'll see them sitting on big old rock piles too. Oh, there's one. I got one. Hell yeah. Now this is an interesting one, and this gives me a bit of a pattern. That's a really good bass, actually. Okay, so this gives me a bit of a pattern. First of all, nice one on the jig. So this one tells me that they're going to bite the jig. They're going to. They're obviously going to eat on bottom because I haven't been here too long at all. Right here too, the reason I'm fishing here, there's some current going in. There's some current going in and out to the other pond, okay? These bass love the current no matter where you are or what season you're in, okay? They love the current. So this guy was hanging out right here by all the, you see, there's some structure right here. It gets deeper there too, probably 4 feet. I'm gonna release this guy real quickly. But yeah, I mean, just overall a nice bass. Okay, we're gonna get a quick release on him. Wasn't out of the water too long. Let's just wheel off just fine. There he goes. Okay, yeah, so like I was saying before I had to release that guy, there's some current right here going inwards out to the other pond, okay? They just love it. And what makes it even better is it gets kind of deep right there. I'm sorry if the sun's glare, it's really annoying. But it gets really deep there, and there's also some structure right here. And there's some shade. So you can't ask for much more. There's cover over there, cover all along the bank. There's some structure right there, and then you got some current. Now these bass do love to school up, so I'm going to kind of toss it right back in there. See if I can get one. And that bass was on a very slow drag. So, yeah, I could give more hints to where they are and what they're doing right now. Because that's the thing about fall fishing. Every day is different. In the summer, you can go out there, catch them on one thing, go out there and catch them again throughout the entire week, month, whatever. During the fall, you go out there and you have no idea what you're doing the next day. That's really it. There's certain patterns that stay the same, but usually you gotta kind of locate the fish even more, because these fish are constantly moving. These fish are moving along with the bait, and they're following the bait no matter what. Bait is their biggest thing right now for them. That's how they're going to survive the winter, is by following a bunch of bait and eating a bunch of bait. I don't like these casts. There we go. I don't know if y'all can see it or not because of the glare, but I'm trying to get as close to all the structure as I can. Okay. Just gotta keep on moving. One cast at this log, because I've caught fish on this log in the past. Now my buddy got one on a suspending jerkbait too. So there's one. It's a pike. Saw him eat it too. Oh my god, that's insane. Alright, well, we got ourselves a pike. Everything loves this jig, man. Everything loves this jig. We got a really small, skinny pike, obviously not doing too well. It was bothing in here to compete with them, so not too surprising. It's a little guy, but oh shoot, sorry bud. Yeah, he ate the 610's hybrid jig. Off he goes. Okay, so that pike. Now, like I was saying with all the species, how they're moving out, how they're moving shallow and stuff, pike are too. So this pike, I've caught all my pike. If you've checked out my channel, you'll see that I caught my PB pike and a pike from a little while back. And this is all during the fall though. So they've all been shallow and they've been on this type of bottom. They've been on kind of muckier bottom. They have a bunch of leaves on tops and cover. And this wood is crucial because I casted it right there on the tip of that wood. And it followed me all the way up here and I watched it eat it. So that's crucial, okay? You gotta look for structure and you gotta look for a good bottom. This is my favorite bottom. And as you can see, there's actually some rocks. It's not completely mucky, but the weeds and all the muck and all the leaves and stuff, they've kind of made it that way. Okay, so one quick thing. So that side, I'm not going to fish that. I'm just not. That's all the exact same. You never want to fish anything that's the exact same, okay? That's a very, very, very big point in bass fishing. You never want to fish anything that stays the same. You always want kind of an isolated lily pad, for example. I had one day on a new lake when I went bank fishing where I really didn't catch a whole lot for a big stretch, but then I got to some isolated pads. And that's when I got all of my fish, or most of my fish, should I say. Like this right here. Those are a bunch of logs sticking out of the water, a bunch of branches. That's what you want. You don't want same bottom like this that goes on forever like over there. You want that. You want to look for points you want to look for irregularities, and you want to look for cover. Those are like the biggest things you can look for. Okay, so do you guys see this? This compared to everything else, you can tell that this is definitely irregular. You do not see that most other places. That's what you want to stick to. So I'm going to cast it. Just going to flip my jig right up in there. Kind of pretty close. It's a bit too close for my liking though. It's kind of right there. And this is so much different than anything else in the pond. That's why it's special. You always want to fish places where you don't see much, if not any of it, like it in the same pond. So this is a really good spot. Nothing on there right now because the bass are always moving. Just keep that in mind. I'm going to repeat that throughout the video. The bass are always moving. And honestly, right here, may not look fishable, but you sure as hell can't fish that. There's a fish. Okay, I had one. Started running off with the bait. Now I'm gonna probably skip over all of this, and I'm gonna go straight back to this corner over here. So you want to look for always, I'm going to repeat this word and certain phrases throughout the entire video. It's going to get repetitive, but it works. Irregularities, corners, covers, structure, and current. Those are the main things you want to look out for. And you want to fish them thoroughly. You don't want to just cover water over them unless you see a whole bunch of points that you know could be really good. You just don't want to spend too much time at a spot where you don't think it'll provide or know it won't provide. If you see same thing, it goes on forever and ever and ever, don't fish it. It's not worth it. This, what I'm fishing right now, is a corner surrounded by the most wood I've seen on this pond. This is where most of the wood is. I'm just gonna flip my jig right up in there and give it a couple to a few pops. Kind of let it sit there. And now I can tell there's some taller weeds than I like here. So I won't be staying here for too long when I'm just going to be getting weeds the entire time. I do like how they're alive though. Oh hey, I don't have anything above me to get snagged on, so I can just cast it right out there. I'm actually just gonna get wood though, so I have more area to cast in, and so I don't get hung up in any branches. All right, now this looks really good. I'm actually going to cast right into this. It's not the deepest, but worth a shot. I'm seeing bait and structure down there. I think this could be good. My God, that glare is awful. Well guys, that concludes today's video. So I think we caught a good amount of fish, considering this is such a small pond with so little fish. Got a pike and a 2-pound 1-ounce bass. That's pretty good. Got them all in the jig. I probably could have switched a little something up. I probably could have thrown a spinner bait, maybe gotten a couple more fish, maybe a paddle tail. I mean, you just never know. Maybe a Ned rig. But yeah, really the main takeaways from today's video is just to keep on moving. I did catch those fish in the same spot, and there's actually more action over there as I speak, but I gotta go. I did catch them in the same spot, but just keep on moving. Once you find the fish, you'll know. You will know. So just keep on moving, hit corners, hit down branches, hit all kinds of structure, hit rocks. Yeah, just hit key points. Just hit anything, hit new weeds that aren't dead yet, and hit anything that is irregular to everything else. And that's really it to fall fishing. Yeah, they're eating all this bait though, and they're getting fat. So right now is the time to catch a PB if you haven't caught one in the spring. So y'all get out there, y'all get on some fish. I'll try to upload a couple more videos before winter comes around, and then I'll have to try to figure them out in the winter when it's all iced over. It's a little jig, but yeah. Okay, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.